Some Black Friday deals have you wondering, is this worth something or is it actually just worthless? As Black Friday deals start to emerge and players are starting to hone in on just what they're looking for, other times something strange comes along that catches your eye and makes you wonder, is this a good deal? And should I chase it down? Welcome back everyone, MTG Moxman here, and thank you again for hanging out today for another video. Now, let's face it, there's so many Magic products out there, most of us can't keep track of everything, but I'm here to bring you a little bit of information on some of these sets today, and some of these Black Friday deals do look really enticing. Now, everyone will hone in on things like Spider-Man. They're going to go ahead and look at Avatar: The Last Airbender. Maybe you're out there trying to chase down some Edge of Eternities, a very hard collector box to find. Maybe you want to find yourself a Final Fantasy collector box, but they're just not available. And then when you go by a store, you see an older product, maybe 5 or 6 years old, and you're saying to yourself, that seems like a really good price. Is this something I should consider? Well, just because you should consider it doesn't actually mean it's worth anything. And that's why you've got to look not just at that particular collector box or that particular sealed product, but also what's inside that could make it valuable or also make it worth passing on. Now, a couple of these came to my attention today. I thought we'd discuss them in today's video just to give everyone an overall view of what they could be looking at when they look at some of these sealed products. Take a look at this. The first product we need to discuss is Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Now, if you guys didn't know this, this product came out September 24th of 2021. We're like, what, 4.5, almost 5 years old for this product, and it's already down to $199 Canadian on sale. Now, you can see here it was $249, so it already wasn't a very expensive product. If you were in the US right now, this collector box would cost you $138 US to buy what I'm sharing with you right now. So on the surface, this looks like a very sweet deal compared to any of the new collector boxes out there in the market. Honestly, you could buy 3 or 4 of these for the price of one box of, say, Spider-Man from a few months back. This is insane to think, right? Or is there something else? Now, when you're looking at boxes like this, you can't just look at that fact it's a collector box. It's super hard to find. It's special because Wizards has had different print runs for different eras of time. And this is at a time when they were pumping out product just gangbusters insane. There is still a lot of this product floating at your local LGS. And you ask yourself, what is of value inside this set? Well, the most expensive card right now is the Meat Hook Massacre. You can see here at one point, this was a $75, $80 card. But since then, I mean, it's been reprinted, it's come around again. It's really dropped down in price till it's, $23 on average. The low being $18. This is not the expensive card it was. And over the last, couple of years, it's lost a lot of ground. So even if you got this inside a box, well, it can't carry the box. So what else would be there to maybe drive some player interest? Well, if you look beyond the extended art or maybe just the regular Meat Hook Massacre, you can see the value really drops off to like these $7, $5, $4, $3 cards. When we look at Ren and 7 borderless, this is now only a $4 card. These are not the gangbuster cards they were from 5 years ago. These cards are very inexpensive, very cheap. Even Teferi, who slows the sunset. Remember that card? I use that all over the place when this thing was in standard, and now it's a $3 card. So we know that this can't be the only reason to buy this box. This cannot be your deciding factor because it's just not going to carry the day. There's not a chance to get enough value out of that box to justify even paying the $138. 12 packs, most of them being commons. Yeah, you get a couple of rares. You would hope for maybe a Meat Hook Massacre, maybe a double pack, and that would pay for 25 to 30% of the box. It doesn't look good. But there are other reasons, of course, to buy sealed product. Sometimes you just want to have it on a shelf. Sometimes you're trying to complete a collection of every collector box. This makes it very inexpensive to get into that market and start building a collection. It is a reason if you're a collector to get these things when they're cheap like this, and this is a reason, but it can't be usually the deciding factor for a player who wants to open packs or have a good time. There's not a lot of value there, which is why it's always so important to look at what's beyond the actual sealed product. What is in there that can drive value? And this isn't the only product we found on sale. Now, if I jump over and I share with you the next one, which is Crimson Vow, the same era, same time, right? This one, although it's not on sale, it's still only $279.95 a box. This is not on a Black Friday special. This is just what the store has it for sale. So again, is there any value here? Why would players want to buy the product? Well, the most expensive card is Troxel, the corrosive. I mean, didn't this just come back as a SpongeBob slug, Gary? I love Gary the snail. But anyway, he's back again, and they just did this. Again, secret layers have killed off a lot of value. Up to the point of that, back to January all the way up to July, this was a $25 card. Now it's $15. When you reprint cards, which Wizards is fond of doing, it does kill a lot of value, which turns a lot of people off of sealed product, which is why stores will try to just jumpstart sealed product out the door when they now first get it in. They don't want to be sitting on product. And just like the set I showed before, you can see there's not a lot of consistency and value over the long term for products like this. There was a lot of it printed, a lot of it still floating in the market. If you're not looking at Troxel, you're looking at Olivia, the Crimson Bride, and that's only a $10 card. The value really drops off. Sorin the Mirthless, that's an $8 card. There's not enough value. And that lack of value is what drives people away. Even that $279 Canadian, that makes it, $190 US per box. Price-wise, these look fantastic. But the meat inside just has not, it's spoiled over time. It hasn't carried forward to be a card a lot of players are after. There's not enough cards of value in the set. Now, that doesn't mean it can't change. There's no crystal ball saying what cards won't get reprinted or what card becomes hot again later on. But on the surface of looking at these products at the base value, if you're looking to do an investment or a flip or something, you're probably just going to buy the singles, or there's a lot better actual real-world investments you can jump into that make a lot more money than what you're going to see in a collector box sitting on a shelf. And this is why it's so much more different than it was 5 years ago. We had so much product being printed at cheaper prices, players didn't mind as much buying some of this stuff just to open and rip. But nowadays, when boxes are approaching the $500-$600 level on the norm for Canadian pricing, or $450 US for a box, this has a lot of players now second guessing themselves. Black Friday, you're hunting for the best deals possible. And that deal can't just be a surface deal. It's got to have more meat on the bone that's going to last a long time. Because we've seen what happens when reprinting goes on. And although Wizards has cut back production, we've noticed they've ramped it up recently. And that makes players second guess where the value is going to go. Is Wizards going to start just reproducing these things? Are we going to see a whole bunch of secret layers which devalue a sealed product? They haven't really done anything to build that confidence level back into the consumer. And that's why even now, these things are on sale and players still aren't buying them. And that lack of buying is why stores don't carry product like they used to. When you see things like Avatar: The Last Airbender, Edge of Eternities, Tarkir Dragonstorm, when stores order those products in, they don't want it sitting on a shelf because they've seen the devaluation of sealed product after release. So they make sure to clear their shelves as quick as possible, order just enough product to satisfy the local audience, maybe ship a few out somewhere inside their area, and then they are done and moving on to the next product. If anything, when we look at older products like Dominaria United, remember the Lost Legends are in there, you go ahead and you look at Zendikar Rising with the little tiny promo packs inside that can have like full art fetch lands. There were some great nifty ideas that Wizard of the Coast has put forward. Better in some, less so in others, but all the stores realize, and players have started to realize, sealed product over time doesn't really hold the same value it used to. But the latest upcoming products have kind of flipped the switch a bit on how the value of some of these things can be done. Spider-Man may not be the hottest product, but it's still selling quite a few boxes. And in those boxes, there's still a lottery ticket for a cosmic foil. Just like Dominaria United has Lost Legends, where you could find a Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale, you could still find the Soulstone Cosmic just because you own a box. There's a percentage chance. And that is something that a lot of players, get driven forward into. That's why some of those boxes are so expensive. And the older boxes like Crimson Vow didn't have anything like that to draw the audience in. Even Innistrad Remastered had the special, Markov, right? So we got a little bit going on that Wizards now kind of understands with their consumer base. But the price is so much harder that it doesn't get a wide-ranging audience. But at least you know that those sealed products have a chance still at higher value points. And that will always give them a certain level of price range that players can accept, where older boxes, like you see, they sit on a shelf, they're still not moving. And even with all those good things coming, those chances to win, the lottery, the gamble, stores still don't keep this product in stock en masse like they used to. They can't afford to take the risk. Guys, shop smart. I hope you have a great time with your Black Friday shopping. If you see any cool deals, drop those things down in the comments section, and we'll be back tomorrow with another video. Thanks a lot for being here at the end of the video. A shout out and thank you, of course, to all the amazing patrons of my channel. Guys, if you're a patron, if you're a YouTube membership member, you know why this video occurred. It happened because you helped make it happen. So thank you again for being a supporter of my channel. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't worry, we're here every day. Have a great one, everyone. Do you think Wizards actually knows as much as we think they know? I used to not give them much credit for some of this stuff. But I can look now at some of the products, how they've done them, the difficulties, and I can say, yeah, I think they are. I think they knew that some of their older boxes, like look at Dungeons & Dragons, right? Over time, this may go up because there's fans of D&D. Maybe they never reprint old Gnawbone, and the price starts jacking up. Maybe Tiamat, ever since that secret lair, right? They never reprint it again, and it becomes some massive card. Maybe they've learned that lesson, but do they care about this? No. No. It's great. Great. They're going to reprint it. It's going to happen again. Now, by reprinting, I mean it's going to show up in a secret lair, right? I can look at those products and say, yep, Wizards is learning and adapting because you got cosmic foils, really special things. Yeah, those things had amperstamp chances and stuff, but I'm looking at these new products. And you can look at older ones like Commander Legends. Some great cards in there. Not worth a lot of money anymore, though, considering how much this was back in the day. These new products, they are adapting. And that is going to be good, I think. It's going to take a long time to decipher all that. The Spider-Man Cosmic Foil Soulstone, right? Looking at Avatar, the specialty cards inside. There will be fans of that. Remember the Shattered Glass Transformers, right? There's fans of all kinds of different things that'll go hunting. And there'll be new audiences that come as the years go by. But is there enough to carry those niche cards forward will be the question. Because if there's not, the value drops. Yeah, I know this ramble-jamble doesn't make too much sense, but my brain, it's on fire thinking about all this stuff. Thinking about where these prices will go. And how to better ascertain value. Am I overspending? Am I underspending? Is there going to be something here that is important later? Who knows, man? But sure is a great game to still play. Guys, have a great one. Ramble! Jamble!